You need to keep your head at an angle or the echoes are too difficult to edit out. Yeah, I know. Don't move, the chair tends to squeak. Yes, I know. Try to pause before and after a breath. I'm not a figment of your imagination. Do you want a lisp? A lisp? Oh, sorry. Hello everyone, it's John again. As I mentioned in the finale of Hammerlock, I'm currently having a break from main series uploads to work on stuff. But I couldn't leave you with nothing for a month, so I've decided to collate my thoughts on the topic of Dwarf Fortress and the seemingly inevitable creation of this channel because of it. I hope you enjoy. Dwarf Fortress. Existing in one form or another for the better part of 20 years, this alcoholic civilization simulator found its way into my sphere of consciousness the same way it did for a lot of people. Krug Smash. 4 years ago now, in the golden days between the Brexit referendum and the COVID pandemic, I stumbled upon the illustrated story videos he made, apparently directed by YouTube, from the Pete Complete RimWorld Ice Sheet Challenge series. A very good year for colony management content, apparently. Again, like everybody, I took one look at the algebraic spreadsheet calling itself a computer game and decided to let other people tell its story for me. For a while. Eventually though, the complete lack of a barrier to entry, and what with the only version of the game being available for free, led me to give it a go. I bounced off. Even with some really quality tutorial videos available. Control was minimal, feedback supposedly deep enough to discern an individual's feelings on the lunch that they had last week was apparently still so well hidden as to be functionally non-existent, and I had no idea what I was doing. I dug a hole. It didn't help. Some time passed and Krug refused to stop making videos on what was very clearly a masterpiece in emergent storytelling, the likes of which I could never have dreamed. I had to try again. But it's hard and awkward, and this is Dark Souls all over again, isn't it? I let VatiVidya tell me those stories, so why can't I just do the same with Dwarf Fortress? Well, that's because now it's December 2022, and a new version of the game has been released onto Steam. No more C's for cats. No, now we can see the cats. And dogs, cows, birds, trees, hamsters, and dwarves. The ocean doesn't look as good lapping at the beach, but you can't have everything. What we can now have is everything. The UI has been designed to be looked at by people other than programmers. There's mouse control like with every other piece of software designed after 1990, and I can finally discover why this one dwarf is so miserable without having to learn a small number of keyboard shortcuts. A Herculean task beyond any but the fleetest of hand and broadest of mind, I'm sure you'll agree. So it's playable for me now. I get a handful of forts under my belt, have some fun, and get to the meat of what I think the game is really about. And bounce off. It's a slower bounce, the elastic's lost its pling and it's given me a gentle push to roll to a listless meh. With the basics down, it isn't actually all that hard to play with just the surface features. Digging a hole is no harder on day one with 7 peasants than it is with 200 legendary miners. Possibly easier in fact, as nobody has yet faced the horrors of the great kitten cull of 178, nor the overflowing butchery miasma of 179. I found myself waiting for the fun, the rampaging werebeast, the thoughtless colossus, the flame-forgotten beast that slipped through the door wedged open by Crundle remains to lay waste to everything I'd built for... what? Building a sandcastle to kick down is fun for a bit, but eventually I'll always end up at the rock pools prodding the crabs. I had no gameplay reason to engage with the deeper elements, the relationships and opinions and thoughts that make this game. You don't need them to play successfully, and the only reason to dig deeper is for the stories, and stories exist to be told. Before YouTube, I was an author. Self-published, too afraid of failure to really try. But I know about stories. We love to hear of the unlikely hero, the jilted lover, the child that grows through adversity to thrive, the necromancer that gets scared during a siege and accidentally reanimates a pile of body bits, making everything worse. Okay, that one's specifically Dwarf Fortress, but you can't argue it doesn't make for a great moment to share. Which brings us to why Crumpetsounds exists. I found the way to play this game. You share it. Now, no, it doesn't necessarily have to be in video form. There are Discord servers, subreddits and blogs all stuffed to the gills with entries from people enjoying this game in their own way, but this is my way. That's right, this is an entirely selfish endeavour. I write jokes that make me laugh, I sing songs that make me giggle, and I draw worms with nipples because that is precisely what God intended. For me to have fun, not for worms to lactate. Dwarf Fortress is a masterpiece, but it's lifted beyond simple descriptors of worth and value by the people that engage with it. It's a tool, a storytelling tool, the likes of which haven't been seen since 1,000 chimps wrote Shakespeare. And I'll keep using it to tell stories and make butt puns until somebody stops me. Or until the room is made that can hold 1001 fingersore chimps. And that's it. A strange video, more a review of my own thought processes than of the game, but as I've made pretty clear by now, my channel, my rules. I want to thank Krugsmash for his call to arms that gave me the final push to start creating, and for his permission to use his short fort intro from back when I first found him. You're still a gentleman and a scholar, sir. And thank you all for watching. Work on the side projects is going well, and I expect to be back on time for a fortnight from now to be starting the new series. I'll see you all then. Goodbye.